It's the biggest, they say, the most beautiful, the most awe-inspiring, the most colorful, the most spectacular event of this era, the New York World's Fair. In a word, it's the greatest. Yes, the New York World's Fair is the greatest. That's what people have said. Your friends, your neighbors, your own customers, who by the millions have responded to that old folk song invitation of, "Hi-ho, come to the fair." What is it in the array of exhibits your neighbors and customers want to see most? Well, with some, it's the Unisphere, the world as it looks from 6,000 miles away, the largest model of the Earth ever built. An achievement in architecture, it's also the symbol and motto of the fair itself, peace through understanding. Some folks head first for the exhibit where they can see the world's largest outdoor photographic prints in color. Here, 15 exhibit sections demonstrate dramatically the influence of photography on many aspects of modern life. Then there are those who are attracted to a dramatization of the history of electricity, from its beginning to the mighty bang of nuclear fission. And here's the spot they head for, the General Electric exhibit. And these same people probably also take in the exhibit where the wizardry of modern chemistry is presented with entertaining showmanship. The biggest always has an appeal to some of us. And here is the world's largest electronic carillon, more than 600 bells. Our country's challenge to greatness. This theme has a special appeal to many. In the United States Pavilion, colorful presentations trace America's progress from the dramatic past to the challenge of space travel. Some visitors with a faraway look in their eyes are particularly interested in exhibits of faraway lands and places. Exhibits that, through art, atmosphere, and architecture, bring pieces of the world to one World's Fair. Many people have a special interest in the history of transportation. Old and new. You'll find some of them watching intently the steady parade of helicopters taking off and landing on the roof of the New York Port Authority building. You'll also find them standing in line to get a tantalizing glimpse of what life will be like not too many decades from now. And at the Ford exhibit, they will enjoy a unique and exciting trip through a fantasy land of the past, present, and future. Or you'll find them shaking their heads in awe as they view a gigantic 100-foot engine model. And again, as they view a new experimental turbine power car, possibly a car of the future. Fuel, lubrication, Sinclair, of course. 34 million people visited the fair in its first year. And during that year, close to 6 million of them visited Sinclair Dinoland. Not only are they welcome to the exhibit, but as a means of getting more closely acquainted with Sinclair dealers, each family receives a special coupon good for a free gallon of gasoline at their local Sinclair dealer station. These are a few of the millions of car-owning, traveling Americans who will be telling their friends about the fair and about Sinclair Dinoland for years to come. Sinclair Dinoland, in a prime location, surrounded by titans of American industry, one of the most popular exhibits of the New York World's Fair. A world of wonders that flourished 200 million years ago. A vanished world, recreated by Sinclair. Youngsters and adults alike stand in awe of a world that was. Here, too, there are interesting favorites. The ponderous Trachodon, 32 feet long and 14 feet high, 1,500 teeth, and not a single cavity. Tyrannosaurus, king of the tyrant lizards. Not much on looks, maybe, but popular with many visitors. 50 feet from tip to tip, 20 feet high, fiercest creature that ever lived. A real mean kid. With 6-inch daggers for teeth, he was the terror of his neighborhood. Triceratops, sort of a 30-foot walking battering ram. That skull measures 7 feet. The Ankylosaurus is also popular, if you judge by the amount of attention he gets. The world's first armored tank, you might say. That trunk is completely covered with thin, bony plates. If the situation called for still more protection, he simply grew spears which projected from his body armor. Stegosaurus, 25 feet long, weighing 4 tons. A versatile sort of chap. He won a lot of arguments in his time, but very few beauty contests. No wonder Dinoland is so popular with so many fair visitors, is on so many must-see lists. And of course, there's that face so familiar to all of us. Our own Dino. On formal occasions, he's called Brontosaurus. Big fella, isn't he? 70 feet long. Tips the scales at a substantial 35 tons, which makes him about the right size for a company like ours. As a result of being featured as the Sinclair trademark, Brontosaurus is world famous. The miniature of Brontosaurus is one of the highlights of Dinoland. Visitors make their own souvenirs. This has helped make it a favorite. In fact, Dino is the most popular souvenir sold at the fair. The New York World's Fair. Something for everybody. And wherever you turn, something of awe, interest, excitement, and wonder. The millions of people who have already visited this wondrous fair dedicated to industry, understanding, and peace are a glowing tribute to the compelling magnetism of the fair. And there is still another year of great promise ahead of us. Another year of opportunity during which Sinclair's many activities at the World's Fair will create a favorable image for the Sinclair name and for the 25,000 Sinclair dealers who sell the finest petroleum products to the motoring public.